What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, there's a hidden alliance so powerful that it's quietly reshaping the entire global order? An alliance that's bringing Russia to its knees, choking China's ambitions, and leaving Europe scrambling in the dark. No tanks, no missiles, no dramatic declarations of war. It's just silent, calculated moves that are rewriting the rules of power on this planet. And here's the crazy part. Most people have no idea it even exists. Stick around, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you see the world. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something massive, something that's happening behind closed doors while the media distracts us with surface-level drama. We're talking about a secret alliance that's been systematically dismantling the power of three global giants: Russia, China, and the European Union. Now, before you think this is some conspiracy theory, let me be clear. This is real. The evidence is everywhere once you know where to look. From strategic economic moves to technological blockades, from energy warfare to financial strangulation, this alliance is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. So who's behind it? What's their endgame? And why should you care? First things first, who are we talking about here? This isn't your typical military alliance with flags and official treaties. No, this is something far more sophisticated. We're re-looking at a coalition of nations and power players who realize that the future is int one with armies it, S1 with technology, resources, and economic dominance. At the center of this web, the United States, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and a handful of other strategic partners. But it goes deeper. We're talking about semiconductor manufacturers, rare earth mineral suppliers, financial institutions, and tech giants all working in concert. Think about it. When the US banned advanced chip exports to China, who backed that play? Japan, the Netherlands, South Korea, the major semiconductor powerhouses. Coincidence? Not even close. When Russia's energy stranglehold on Europe started cracking, who stepped up with alternative supply chains? The US with liquefied natural gas, Australia with coal and resources, Middle Eastern allies with oil, all perfectly timed. This alliance doesn't need a fancy name or a headquarters. It operates through shared interests and coordinated actions. And it's devastatingly effective. Here's what makes it so powerful. It targets the exact pressure points where these superpowers are weakest. Russia needs foreign currency and Western technology. China needs advanced semiconductors and access to global markets. Europe needs energy and economic stability. And one by one, this alliance is cutting off those lifelines. Let's start with Russia. After the invasion of Ukraine, everyone saw the obvious sanctions: banks frozen, oligarchs targeted, companies pulling out. But that was just the opening move. The real damage is happening in the shadows. Russia's economy runs on energy exports, oil, and natural gas. For decades, Europe was their biggest customer, pumping billions into Moscow's coffers every single year. That money funded everything from military expansion to political influence operations. But here's where the secret alliance struck hard. The US flooded European markets with liquefied natural gas. Qatar ramped up exports. Norway increased production. Australia shipped record amounts of coal. All coordinated to give Europe alternatives. And slowly, month by month, Russia's energy leverage evaporated. But it gets better, or worse, if you're Russia. This alliance also targeted Russia's ability to extract and refine oil. Modern oil production needs advanced Western technology drilling equipment, refining components, maintenance parts. When sanctions cut off access to these technologies, Russia's oil industry started deteriorating. Sure, they can still pump oil, but inefficiently, at higher costs, with aging infrastructure. And here's the kicker. Without Western banks and payment systems, Russia struggles to even sell what they produce. They're resorting to shadow fleets and unrelatable deals at massive discounts. The ruble, in freefall, inflation, skyrocketing, foreign reserves, frozen or depleted. Russia's war chest is running dry, and this alliance is making sure it stays that way. No bombs dropped, no troops deployed, just coordinated economic warfare that's bringing a nuclear superpower to its knees. Now let's talk about the big dragon, China. For years, everyone feared China's rise. It's the factory of the world, the second largest economy. The technological powerhouse catching up fast. But this secret alliance identified China's Achilles heel: semiconductors. Modern civilization runs on chips. Your phone, your car, military systems, AI infrastructure, everything. And here's China's problem. They can't make the advanced ones. Not the cutting-edge chips that power the future. So what did this alliance do? They built a semiconductor wall. The US banned exports of advanced chip-making equipment to China. The Netherlands, home of ASML, the only company that makes extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, followed suit. Japan cut off chemical supplies needed for chip production. South Korea and Taiwan, who actually manufacture most of the world's advanced chips, are all on board. China's response is trying to build their own semiconductor industry from scratch. But here's the brutal reality. They're at least a decade behind, maybe more. You can't just throw money at this problem. It requires knowledge, expertise, supply chains, and technology that took the West 50 years to develop. Meanwhile, this alliance is accelerating ahead. 3-nanometer chips, 2-nanometer chips on the horizon, quantum computing advances, AI chip innovations. Every year, the gap widens. But the alliance didn't stop there. They're also targeting China's access to critical resources, rare earth elements. Australia and the US are developing alternative sources, manufacturing. Companies are diversifying to Vietnam, India, Mexico, anywhere but China. The Belt and Road Initiative that was supposed to make China the center of global trade? Countries are defaulting on Chinese loans, rejecting unfavorable deals, and turning to Western financing instead. China's real estate market collapsing. Their youth unemployment at record highs. Their stock market struggling. Their population shrinking. This alliance isn't trying to destroy China overnight. They're containing it, limiting its options, ensuring it can't dominate the 21st century the way it planned. And then there's Europe. Now, Europe isn't exactly an enemy in this scenario, but they're definitely not in the driver's seat. They're more like a chess piece being moved around the board. For years, Europe tried to play both sides, trade with China, a cheap Russian gas, maintain their social systems and environmental goals without picking geopolitical sides. They wanted to be neutral, prosperous, and morally superior all at once. But this secret alliance forced Europe's hand. When Russia invaded Ukraine, Europe had to choose. And the alliance made sure that choice was clear-cut: ties with Moscow or face the consequences. American pressure, energy alternatives, security guarantees, it all added up. Now Europe is paying the price. Energy costs have exploded. Industries are struggling. Economic growth has stalled. The comfortable position they enjoyed for decades is gone. Meanwhile, European companies are being squeezed out of Chinese markets through regulations and political pressure. Their technology sector can't compete with American and Asian giants. Their manufacturing is fleeing to cheaper locations. The alliance doesn't need Europe to be strong. They need Europe to be aligned. And alignment often means dependence. Europe now relies on American military protection, American energy supplies, and American technology infrastructure more than ever before. Germany's industrial engine, sputtering without cheap Russian gas. France's nuclear ambitions, struggling with cost overruns and delays. The UK, after Brexit, still trying to find its footing. Europe isn't being crushed like Russia or contained like China, but it's being reshaped, restructured, and ultimately brought into line with the alliance's vision for the global order. So what's the endgame here? This secret alliance is unworking towards world peace or democracy or any of the noble causes they publicly claim. The real goal is simpler and more primal: maintaining dominance in a changing world. Think about it like this. For the past 75 years, the Western-led order has called the shots. They set the rules for trade, finance, technology, and security. But challengers emerged. Russia wanted to reclaim superpower status. China wanted to reshape the world in its image. Even Europe flirted with strategic autonomy. This alliance is saying, not so fast. By controlling semiconductor technology, they control the future of AI, quantum computing, and advanced manufacturing. By dominating energy markets, they control economic leverage over both allies and adversaries. By coordinating financial systems, they can freeze out anyone who doesn't play by their rules. The endgame isn't about destroying Russia, China, or Europe. It's about ensuring they never become powerful enough to challenge the existing order. Keep Russia weak and isolated. Keep China contained and dependent. Keep Europe aligned and compliant. And here's what's really wild: it's working. Russia is hemorrhaging resources and influence. China is hitting demographic and economic walls. Europe is struggling to maintain relevance. Meanwhile, the alliance members, especially the US, are doubling down on the technologies and strategies that matter for the next century. This is the new great game, and most people don't even realize it's being played. So what does this mean for you? Whether you realize it or not, you're living through one of the biggest power shifts in human history. The decisions being made in boardrooms and government offices today will determine what the world looks like for the next 50 years. This secret alliance is reshaping everything: where products are made, where energy comes from, who controls technology, who calls the shots on the global stage. And unlike previous power struggles that played out with wars and invasions, this one is happening through economics, technology, and strategic coordination. The crazy part? Most people are completely unaware. They see random news stories, a trade dispute here, a sanction there, a technology ban somewhere else. But they don't see the bigger picture. They don't see the coordinated strategy bringing down superpowers without firing a single shot. Now you do. The question is, what happens next? Will this alliance maintain control for another generation? Will China find a way to break through the containment? Will Russia collapse entirely? Will Europe find its spine and chart its own course? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the world is never going back to the way it was. The secret alliance has already changed everything. If this blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going deep on topics like this every single week. Drop a comment and let me know, do you think this alliance is right to do what they are redoing? Or is this just imperialism with a modern face? And if you want to really understand what's happening in the world, check out the video I'm linking in the description about how AI is about to change geopolitics forever. Thanks for watching. Stay curious. I'll see you in the next one.